Welcome every single one of you who is here live and who's gonna watch the replay. It's a special gift to come together as collective and really begin to expand our understanding of global consciousness and how when we synchronize together, when we come to the coherent state of mind, we can not only hope for miracles, we can command them. That's the next evolution of sovereignty that I will share with you today. And you guys, I prepared some slides for all of us, just a little bit to give the context to the logical mind, which I love reason, I love logic. I think it's very powerful to develop that aspect. And also we have the intuitive nature, right? Beyond the mind, the wisdom beyond the mind. So how today will go, I will do a brief introduction just to give a little bit of context of how remote healing works, how frequency work works, and a little bit about the supermoon, about the spring equinox. So just a little bit of context, and then we're gonna go through the process, and then I'm gonna give a good chunk of time for questions and shares. I have my giant clock next to me too, to keep track of time. Even though when we go through the process, you guys, you may experience sense of timelessness. And when you feel that, really cherish it, because this is the most magical moment where you become pure consciousness, beyond time, beyond space, beyond confines of identity, right? And I would love to begin with asking you to just attune your consciousness to the main intention. Why are you here? What brought you here? And then there will be a moment where I will ask you to share in the comments for those of you who feel like sharing. And those of you who want to keep it private, just keep it private in your heart. Because, you know, my main intention for us to create a container where we put our intention and also our new commitment to be a match, to be an energetic match to that intention. And the power of this energy work, darlings, it's very similar to, you know, like how we take a shower every day for the physical body. When we begin to accelerate and to open our focus, open our consciousness, when we invite more light in, we begin to see what's been hidden in the shadow. Sometimes it's something that we chose through discordant choices, and sometimes it's something that we unconsciously attracted or inherited through the DNA of our parents. So the more light you invoke, the more you will see what is that coming up on the surface. And I have not found a more effective way to dissolve any shadow patterns than first to understand the value of them, and then to accept and love them into forgiveness. And I will break it down a little bit more practical, but this is just a context for all of us. Why this high frequency work is something that we don't just do once. We continue to do this work, you know, just how we continue to take a shower every single day. And it's really powerful because then you begin to see that your true power is in your vibration. And everything else will just mirror and match that. What do you vibrate at any point? So let's see. Wow, so many of you here. I love it, you guys. I love it. All right, let's begin. Let me share with you some slides because I love slides so much. I'm going to keep my video on. So how to make the most out of this experience? The number one is sense of presence. Darlings, the biggest suggestion, the biggest perspective I can share with all of you, something that I received from one of my teachers. He said, Katerina, be so present, nothing can hurt you. Be so present, anything can hurt you. Be so present, nothing can hurt you. So I carry these wise words in my heart when life presents with me the challenges that I don't expect. Usually we don't expect the challenges, right? They just come, arrive to our doorsteps and ask us to rise in our sovereignty, to face them with dignity as a creator. And I remember that advice, be so present, nothing can hurt you. The sense of presence, our attention is what we literally pay to the spirit world to receive this inflow of divine frequency, divine understanding, illumination. The only thing that the spirit world asks of us, at least in the beginning, is presence. Because the more we understand, the more is asked of us, so we could grow, we could accelerate. The second one is an open mind. And you guys already quite an open mind group, even to show up to this training, right? To this call. But maybe something you're gonna hear today that will be really new for you and may stretch you a bit. And something will land easily and effortlessly, and some you'll be like, I don't know. I just invite you to say, what if it works? What if it's effective, right? And then what else we have? Willingness to let go. Willingness to let go, darlings. This work, oh my goodness, got my notepad, she says. This work, darlings, is what I found because I've been doing energy work with people for years. What I found is the more engaged you are in the process, the more effective the process becomes for you. There is one level of passively receiving spiritual work, spiritual healing. It's only gonna kind of penetrate on one level of your awareness. But if you engage the openness of your mind and also engage the feeling of your body when I guide you through the process, really turn up your energy body, turn up your feeling, because thought sends instructions to the void of possibilities, what you desire to experience next. This is a good one to write down, right, guys? Thought, I think about the God of wisdom, Thoth, because I've been working with him lately. Thought sends out instructions into the void of possibilities, what you desire to create, to experience next, negative or positive. All events are neutral. And the feeling body is what magnetizes that creative spark, your thought magnetizes to you. So if we desire to create any change in our life, we get to work simultaneously on all these different levels. But the first one is our thought, moment by moment by moment, in our feeling state. And I see energy is like fusing all of that together. And the reason why I have on my altar things like Metatron cube, right? Archangel Metatron, is because sacred geometry Sacred geometry is the language of the soul. And I'm going to share that in the slides a little bit later. But it's a good reminder, even if you are already reached a quiet level of mastery in energy work, I feel it always serves us to be reminded about the power of these tools. You know, the power of making the invisible more real than visible. And when the invisible becomes so real that your body cannot know the difference, it becomes manifest almost instantaneously. So, how to make the best out of this experience? Be fully here, be fully present, be fully engaged. When you lose your awareness, you say, oh, lost my presence. Here I am back. All right? So that's the first one. I see your comments, you guys. Settle in, settle in, settle in. Let's see what else we have. Who am I? Isn't that an amazing question to ask yourself a lot, you guys? Who am I? Really briefly, you know, I constantly reinvent these names and roles. I constantly let go of identities. But for now, what fits well is a sovereignty mentor, metaphysician, is educator. This is something that I find is the most aligned kind of a hat that I get to wear. And the reason why this event is called Illumination into Sovereignty, darlings, because, you know, we teach what we want to heal and we teach what we want to master. And the bigger the wound, the bigger the gift. And my beginning of this incarnation was not even close to being sovereign. You know, it felt so disempowering and so limiting and so, you know, bleak. That's the word I would say, bleak. The opportunities were not promising. And because of that very humble beginning, I had such a drive to figure it out, to find the way to break through the circumstances and to be driven by the vision. You know, to be driven by the vision instead of my circumstances. This is the big perspective that I always share. Don't let your circumstances define you. Constantly connect with the vision so big that you are pulled by the vision and you're never defined by circumstances. So some of you know my story. I'm just going to literally use 30 seconds to share. I came to this country when I was 23 years old and I had $3 to start. And my very first job was literally scrubbing floors in hotels. And I have one friend on this call who remembers me at that stage, my friend Danielle, been friends for almost 13 years. And she met me at that time. And you know, you guys, I'll never forget because I always had the vision. And no matter what life would throw at me, I would find the way to rise above circumstances being pulled by the vision. And this is why sovereignty is such a powerful theme for me, and I continue to share and serve in this capacity. So why I'm teaching this, I'm going to go through that a little bit right now. Group consciousness and collective intention. So there is a magic in alchemy when people come together with aligned intentions and we fuse our auras with one intention. We activate, you know, it's called the hive mind. You know, it's something that we just receive prophecies in different wisdom teachings that eventually humanity will evolve into collective leadership, into collective mind. And we have the glimpses of that. You know, there is actually a group of scientists from Princeton universities that currently run Global Consciousness Project. And you guys can Google that, can research even deeper. But already people scientifically prove that we are all interconnected. So the more coherence a group can achieve, the more amplified our intentions can become. It requires an open mind, and it requires purity of intention for the benefit of all. So this is the reason I believe the power of these collective gatherings, and fusing our hearts and fusing our souls, not only for our personal intention, which is very important, but also for the collective. So we'll do a prayer for really lifting the consciousness, collective consciousness of this planet. Let's see. Oh, I think that's what here it is. Coherent consciousness creates order in the world. All right, so I'm just gonna share with you guys, yeah, such a big inspiration. I'm gonna share with you guys just a little bit about why is this cosmic portal of the supermoon and the spring equinox is so auspicious, right? Auspicious, because at certain times in the year, we have this accelerated inflow of cosmic energy. And let me know in the comments if the first 3 months of 2019 have been trying for you, has been challenging for you, has been like, holy crap, I did not expect that would come my way. You know, the good news, I'm the messenger, yeah, right? I hear you guys, I feel you. I really feel you. So, yeah, we're going through a massive purification, you guys. So, the good news that right now the spring is here, and March we activated the vibration of 333. Yes, Justin says, but also very rewarding. Precisely, Justin, precisely. Challenging but rewarding, because you guys, the core belief that I constantly lean into is that challenge brings out the best out of me. At first, I would repeat it until, I would believe it. And then I would continually see that was true. No matter the challenge would come my way, I was like, wow, I did not realize this strength was laying there in me, in the deep layer of my soul. This strength was laying there. Only the challenge, only when all the bridges were burned, this kundalini, this powerful force of illumination rose up in me. So challenges always bring out the best in me. This is my core belief, and I'm just sharing it with you guys so you can receive it. But the main thing about the spring equinox is this pivotal point in the year, especially now, Mercury retrograde, where we get to reevaluate what is really good for us. Where's the balance? Where we lost the balance? Maybe we went too much into the, in the spiritual world and kind of abandoned our earthly responsibilities. Maybe we lost balance between work and love. Maybe between the body and spirit, right? So we're just going through this beautiful reassessment of what is here. But what I love about the energy of spring, we are moving into the next new moon is going to be in Aries. Whoever is Aries is here, you guys going to feel it. But everybody in the chart has Aries in it. So we will be, it's almost like right now, it's like this preparation. You're gathering your strength. You're realigning yourself energetically to literally spring forward. Spring forward. This is why I cherish these activation points, and we have several of them in the year, because they give us a great opportunity to realign, reassess, come to our truth, and choose again. And the one thing that I also wanted to highlight, you guys, that we are never, ever, 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 ever stuck. No matter what collective belief systems will try to convince you, and I will share with you a graph of level of consciousness, you guys, every single one of you. This is a great asset that you will walk away through this training by having that map. So you can assess yourself every day. Where am I? What is my vibration points towards? what kind of reality I'm choosing moment by moment through my frequency, right? So this is the energy of the spring. New start, new beginning. It's a great, rich opening for growth professionally, in your business, in your opportunities, and also in the spring, what we do, you guys, we open our hearts to love. So if you're calling in that love, put your intention right here, right now, and we're gonna amplify it together. All right. So also at the end of this training, for those of you who desire to receive more support from me personally, I'll share with you about the programs that I have available. And I'm going to do it very briefly. I'll give you literally a link where you can look it up. And also for those of you who will explore maybe working with me privately, that's also becoming available. And I'll also give you a link to look it up and apply whatever feels good and whatever feels like, I'd love to receive some support on that. All right, you guys. So that's going to be at the end. But for now, the main thing, the reason why I feel it's so key to work with on the level of DNA. Maybe you've heard DNA activation and all of that. I really like the term DNA awakening. DNA awakening. And, conventional science says that only 10% of our DNA is used to build proteins. Conventional science deems 90% of the rest of DNA junk. But you guys are evolved beings with open mind, and it's laughable to even think that nature would create something that we would call junk, right? It's laughable. DNA awakening. So this 90% of this DNA space that is used for storage of data and information. Remember that, data and information. But to liberate that space, if I almost like imagine it is like a storage of memory, you guys. So when we take on the body, right? Take on the body, we take on ancestral DNA from our father, mother, grandparents, and so on, all the way to the very beginning of our line. So depending on your lineage, your soul, your oversoul is so wise, it will choose the most appropriate DNA blend for you to master very specific life lessons, very specific assignment, right? So for example, I chose very turbulent beginning, like a lot of star seeds, a lot of indigo creatures, we choose turbulent beginnings because that's literally the only way we have enough propeller in our butts to rise above the circumstances and say, it didn't start with me, but it ends with me. This disempowerment ends with me. This generational suffering ends with me. And I'm going to rise, right? And you guys, there's this whole understanding that, I feel so much ancestral energy running through me right now because I really want you to get this, you guys. All the benevolent ancestors of your line are counting on you right now. You are the nodal point in your entire ancestral line. Every single ancestor in your line did their best to pass on their the best of their genes to you. Yes, they also passed on some genetic stagnation, some genetic suffering. It comes with the vehicle. But because you have such already awakened consciousness to even receive this message, the next step is to take on the tools to clear up the stagnation in your DNA, to clear up those constrictions, so you can liberate the space for more light, for more genius activation, for more sovereignty. Let me know if it lands, you guys. This is how I begin to see it, you know, and when I discovered energy work and karmic clearing work and frequency work, I was like, holy grail, I have finally found, you know, a true energy medicine that can shift, that can accelerate me forward. Yeah, reincarnation and process. Exactly, you guys, exactly. So this is the reason why I feel so passionate about it, because it works, you guys. And Russian scientist, I shared this article, but I think it's so important to keep sharing. Russian scientist, my countryman, literally just found a way to show scientific proof that our DNA is programmed by language, by words and frequencies. Words and frequencies. It programmed, you guys. Our DNA hears it. So the internal environment, you know, if we have that negative voice that's running, or doubt or fear or insecurity, it affects our DNA, right? So I love you guys. You're a good group. I can speed up with you. Let's see. So this is what full moon, we already covered this. The intention for today's clearing. This is what wanted to come through. You know, I literally got download to open up this container when I came back from Egypt, guys. And you want to get a reality check of how many opportunities we have in US. You go to a third world country, you know what I mean, where the collective is in such despair, such collective suffering. You come out and you say, oh my goodness, I have so many possibilities right now. I have freedom, you know, I have this new awareness, I have these energetic tools. So the intention for tonight's process is to release any subconscious addictions to being overly responsible for everyone. And this is the number one key to embodying the next level of sovereignty, is to let go of this empath identity. Yes, I said it. You guys, empath identity can feel useful to a point. Eventually, you begin to realize everybody is an empath and everybody is a sovereign being. And you begin to command your energy body to not go automatically in processing other people's pain. That's right. So today, when we begin our energy work, in a few minutes, probably in 10 minutes, we'll begin the process. The very first thing that I will ask all of us is to put our energetic shields on ourselves. It's like put the oxygen mask first, right? Because so many empathic souls, you guys, we don't know. In the past, I didn't know that my energy body would automatically begin to process other people's suffering, other people's emotional challenges. And I was like, why I feel exhausted every time I'm around people? And then boom, epiphany. My energy body goes into automatic processing in the past. So now I choose to command my sovereignty, and seeing every person who crosses my path is an absolute sovereign divine being. And whatever suffering they're experiencing, I honor their conscious choice on a soul level to learn that way. How's this landing for you guys? But this liberated me hugely, hugely. Let me take a look. Huge insight, right? So when I enter a group field at the conference or an event, I tell my body, I tell my energy body, half representation. I learned that from Yvonne de la Flor. Half representation, meaning don't go into processing other people's stuff. And I zoom in on the highest aspect of a soul in front of me. Right? Sometimes I forget. But the moment I remember, that's my sovereign moment. That's my sovereign moment. You forget, oops, what do I remember is true? I'm a sovereign divine being. and I honor another soul by giving them ultimate freedom to learn the way they choose to learn. And oftentimes it looks like they're learning through suffering, right? Sovereign moment. I love you, darlings. Then we have so addiction to being overly responsible. Then we have the codependence and rescue archetype, right? We're gonna clear those out. And I wanted to also demystify how the clearing works. When we clear on the energy level, what most likely will show up is your ability to recognize those patterns much clearer. It's like you're clearing the eyes of your perception. Number one, you're not going to be energetically run by those patterns unless you pick it up and want to do it again. That's your sovereign choice. But the more than anything, once you receive energetic work, your eyes are clear. You begin to notice, oh my goodness, here I go again. Here I'm about to go into the rescue archetype. And when you notice, it's your interaction with the field of information, you make a new choice. And you make a new choice. And you make a new choice. This is why this work is not a passive experience. It's an active choice, active dance with your information field, right? And then eventually you're like, I got it. I got it. Universe presents you another opportunity to test you that you really, really got this lesson. And you're like, I passed. Now I got A+. That's right, darlings. Active dance with your information field. So the moment I began to see that the energy around me, this air, right, is actually full of information. Full of information. Then I began to dance with it consciously. So I think that's our goal for today. That's intention. Restore balance between work, love, and play, and illumination of the sovereignty. This is the main thing that we will focus on. How does it work? Words and frequency repattern our DNA expression. And mystical teachers knew this for a long, long time, that our body is programmable by language, words, and thought. Frequency has to be correct, you guys. This is the secret sauce. Frequency has to be correct. This is why not everybody is equally successful or can do it with always the same strength. The individual person must work on the inner processes and maturity in order to establish a conscious communication with the DNA. This is a powerful point, you know. I see a great wisdom in that, because that is a great inspiration for me to continue purifying my vessel, to continue making this clear communication with my DNA, right? So what a great gift that it doesn't just automatically land for us. We get to purify, we get to purify, we get to purify. And containers like this serve as boost, like accelerated energy boost. And then you get to stabilize it and maintain that vibration by consciously choosing, consciously choosing. Make sense, you guys? So I'll go pretty fast. DNA awakening. So I share this with you. This is the most powerful graph that I have found. And I will give you guys a copy. This is really powerful because this comes from David Hawkins, Power versus Force. Amazing book. I've read it 3 times. I think it's time to read it again. But take a look at this, contracted awareness and expanded awareness. And then it gives you, this is the frequencies that signal that you are forcing. You're forcing your reality, you're forcing your intentions, you're forcing other people's sovereign will. How many of you can relate? Oh my goodness, how many times I would fall into this trap. And take a look at the emotion, process, and life view. For example, I really wanted to talk about shame, you guys, tonight. Shame is all the way at the bottom, right? All the way at the bottom. Humiliation. I've never, ever met a human who didn't have a story of something humiliating happening in their lives. And a lot of times they carry that, you know, and there's this feeling of life being miserable. Look at this life view, you guys. This is how you trace the root, where it's coming from. Miserable life view. It all because there is shame lurking, unprocessed shame, uncleared shame. The same thing with guilt, apathy, grief. Look at this, grief, unprocessed grief. Because in our society, we don't usually get exposed to this, right? Hey, when a shameful experience happens, this is what you do. This is how you work it out. This is how you process out of the body. Usually when something shameful happens, what's the reaction? Pretend like it never happened. Hide it away. Process it in secret, right? And this is the number one thing, you guys, when I work with somebody on, it doesn't matter what level I work with people, it shows up directly in business, I can tell you. Because when you begin to share your gift in the world, in business, and there is this lurking shadow energies that have not been accepted, released into forgiveness, they just gonna show up in your service. And I see this again and again and again. So I always say, you know, it all begins with working through the scale of this emotion one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. First we clear shame, then we clear guilt, then we clear anger, then we clear pride. So we stabilize this energy of acceptance, harmony, right? And look at this, at the energy of enlightenment, pure consciousness. Powerful stuff, right, you guys? And once again, I just really want to land this for all of us, you guys. I've never met a human being who's never had such a deeply humiliating experience, whether as a child, whether as an adolescent, or as an adult, or grief, or anger, or fear, right? Never met a human being who never had that experience. But I've met so many human beings who live with this stuff year after year after year, decade after decade after decade. And their subconscious mind is so determined to help them heal that. And the only way subconscious mind can get our attention is by showing up as an external event, right? As an external event. So by doing this energetic work, it's kind of like, you guys, a very high level preventative work that you choose to bring a huge light of awareness into your soul and say, let me be courageous, let me look within, let me call out the aspects of my psyche that split, that fragmented, and let me see what's hiding there, and let me embrace it with love and forgiveness and heal it. And also, you guys, this work happens in stages, because otherwise, if, you know, it's like, I like this example, you know, where when, if you have a lot to heal, right? You can't really, you know, it's like with the cancer, right? If somebody goes through initiation that we call cancer, and you can't really say, hey doctor, give me all radiation that you have, let's just get it over with. Your body will not be able to handle it. The same thing with our subtle bodies. You know, you, with the guidance of your higher self, you receive as much clearing as appropriate for you at this moment. And then you come back and do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And you know, you guys, for me, it's such a part of my life that I see it as being energetically responsible, being energetically sovereign That's the huge number one. So yes, and it's incredible chart. It is, you guys. And then the same thing when you work with people, right? You can see with clients, you can see, oh my goodness, what's the predominant vibration that they feel? That's how the emotional body sees the world. And then you can navigate and point them towards different tools. Let's see. So this is the chart. And sovereignty is all about what? Sovereignty is all about choice. All about choice. And it's choosing to release, invoke, activate, and eventually command. So the number one process, you guys, is to establish a conscious communication with your DNA. Every single day you sit down and you begin to breathe life into your cells. You begin to send life-affirming signals to your cells, right? And then release anything that doesn't serve, and I will demonstrate, we'll do it together. And eventually command your reality into being. So this is the stages that I found from my experience. The very first thing that I do when I wake up, this is advanced, you guys, but you are advanced people. The very first thing that I wake up, I command my sovereignty. And I do it with such emotion, with such presence, that, you know, that command is heard through all my cells. And not every day I do it perfectly, but every day I do it more consistently. I do it with more conviction. I do it with more certainty, right? Because that's how I see myself. The way you see yourself, the way everybody else will begin to see you, the way the world will begin to dance with you. It's a practice. That's right. That's right. Mhm. How are you guys receiving this? Language of the soul. Some of you who've been through my energy clearings, you guys know the reason why we use these different ways to communicate with the subconscious mind. We want to bypass the conscious mind. We want to go straight to the 90% of your power, which lays in subconscious mind. And we utilize the language of the soul, which is sound, color, frequency, shape, and symbols, and also numbers. And that's the universal language of the soul. I like this image because that's how we look. DNA, the quantum tools that we use. We're going to use today a code of R, invocations, and sacred geometry. And the rest of these tools, I teach them in my programs that are available for you. Codes of R. A lot of you guys know codes of R. I'm going to just show you this amazing woman, Yvonne de la Flor, who is one of my sacred allies. And she believes in this work so much. She created a very specific codes of R for this work, and we're going to use 2 of them today at the clearing. Yvonne is a really, really incredible leader. I recommend all of you guys to follow her, and she does a powerful work on rebirthing, womb consciousness work. Whoa, like a next level. But this woman began literally channeling sacred geometry since the age of 4. And her hand automatically began to draw symbols and the language of the soul, right? So yes, you guys know Yvonne. For a lot of you are here who are her students. So we are allies. We taught courses together. We taught live events together. And it's a great privilege to utilize the sacred technology called Codes of R, which stands for Codes of Absolute Harmonic Universe. And they came to us in the time of great change and ascension. And the reason why the codes are so powerful, because they have, one code has all the elements. It has sacred numbers encoded in it. It has the sound. Every code is being chanted 108 times of sacred mantra specifically for each code. It has a specific color vibration that communicates to the subconscious mind. It's a very powerful tool. Very, very powerful tool. And when to make it active in your subconscious requires purity of heart and open mind and willingness to correct the choices, because clearing what it does is just like, you know, if you had a dirty window on your car or on your window, you clear it, you begin to see the horizon. You're like, oh, there is the boat, there is a seagull. I did not see this. You know what I mean? Because the window was so dirty. And then how do you interact with the boat that is approaching? Because you're able to clearly see it. That's the part of responsibility that comes with choosing your sovereignty. Yeah, yeah. So we're gonna go and experience this today, the codes of R. And you know, when I first found this technology, I just knew it. Like my body, the body knows before the mind, usually. The body knows before the mind. So my body was like, woo, this technology is for me. Who is this person who creates them? And then, of course, the spirit brought us together, and Yvonne believes in this work that I do with frequency so much that she actually created these tools specifically for this work. So I think that's it, you guys. This is the introduction for those of you who just joined, maybe, because I see some new people. Yep, here we go. So we're going to begin now. Thank you so much for your comments. And I have a feeling we're just going to go through the process during the sunset. First, let's prepare our body to receive energetic work. So let's take water first. If you guys have crystals, good to have a crystal. If not, just imagine that you have a crystal. I brought my Lemurian crystals. You know, spirits, the benevolent beings from spirit dimensions really use crystals as a communication device. So I've got a few of them. I have Metatron Cube. When we begin our process, I will invite you to imagine. Moldavite, amazing, amazing. I'll invite you to imagine this shape to the best of your ability. Just imagine this shape descending and covering you as the protective illuminating field. This is one of the most sacred geometries, sacred codes. This stands for Merkaba, your light body activation, through which we travel multidimensionally. There's also a symbol of Metatron, a great archangel Metatron. You know, if you desire to master manifestation, a really natural, you know, power of creating your reality, co-creating your reality, Metatron is the one to work with. So since there may be some new people here who've never taken energy clearings with me, you guys, when we begin the process and prepare the body, you will hear me call in particular names. And what I do, I invite wisdom keepers from major spiritual lineages, beyond religion, beyond sect or dogma. There is this benevolent guides and keepers of wisdom. And what we do, we just invite their presence. We invoke their name. It's a sacred experience, because the moment a name of that being invoked, their consciousness being attuned to us, especially to the group container. So you will hear me call specific names. We'll open, and then I'll guide you through the process, and then we close. So very, very simple. Depending on your sensitivity to energy, you may feel a lot of vibration coming through your body. You may feel emotion, you may feel heart opening, or you may feel very still and centered experience. Whatever you feel, just trust that it's appropriate for you to feel, and it's a really safe container to receive that. We also gonna invoke protection, so only benevolent beings are allowed, and only benevolent beings who love you unconditionally. Whenever you begin to work in the spirit world, I'll give you this tool, guys. As long as you ask, I only invite the presence of benevolent beings who love me unconditionally, who are of the purest light. This is the frame that I invite you to lean into whenever you start working with the energy world, right? It's instantly, because nobody can go against that command. Every entity has to respect free will of universal human, and you invoke a powerful protection by utilizing this command. Let's see if there's anything wants to come through. To prepare your body. So preparing your body during a clearing event, I find it's very useful to put the tip of the tongue on the roof of your mouth, like this. And begin to breathe, because if your jaw is locked, you remain in your analytical mind. Look at this. Usually we do this most of the time, right? Our biology is trained to be in survival by locking the jaw. It's also a result of the body. When the body goes through a lot of stress, the very first thing that happens, the jaw gets locked. When the jaw gets locked, most of our energy goes into the conscious mind, and we begin to do what? Worry and anxiety, mental nightmares, all of that. So the moment you find yourself there, you remember, oh, Katerina said, open the jaw, open the jaw. And you just let the air go in again. So let's practice together. Just put the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. And just close your eyes. And slow down your breathing. And notice the change in your physiology. I notice immediate change in my physiology. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing, darlings, is that you just want to sit. You just want to sit comfortably. And maybe if it feels good, only if it feels good, to put your hands on your belly, to the seat of your soul. That's another very, if you just take away these two things from this training, there is no stressful event that you will not be able to face with dignity and grace. You unlock your jaw and relax your belly. A lot of times, the survival patterns will get locked into the belly. So let's do this together. We're just going to take 5 breaths. And while you're breathing, I'm going to pause my video so you're not distracted. And we're just going to focus on the codes of R. We're going to focus on 2 codes today. The very first one is, it's such a powerful code, you guys. Once again, you don't have to consciously understand how it works. All it requires is the purity of the heart and the openness of your soul. So this one even looks like, it looks like from the movie Matrix. This one is specifically created to demolish collective beliefs structures that are too small for the vastness of your soul. So I will let you know when the process begins, but for now, just look at this code. Now is a good time to open your eyes and just focus on the very center of this code where there's this golden disc. And your next inhale, simply soften your gaze. Letting go of trying to get it right. Soft your gaze. So you begin to see this image kind of through the blurry vision. And when you soften your gaze, you may find that you see this code coming alive, beginning shifting and vibrating, ever so subtle. And this is a living consciousness code full of information that will communicate to your DNA and new instructions to let go of anything that is too small. So imagine that you can inhale this code and take it into your body, take it into your heart. And close your eyes, be fully present, and listen to my voice. We begin by shifting all our awareness into the center of our heart. What are you grateful for? Find that one thing that you are most grateful for. Because gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Are you grateful for the challenges? And you find gratitude in not knowing what tomorrow brings. It's so easy to be grateful when the skies are blue. Can you find gratitude when it feels like the rug is being pulled from under your feet? This is mastery. So zoom in into the center of your heart and begin to visualize the golden flame, the flame of your soul. And with every breath, you soften your belly and you keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth and you simply allow the life force to flow in and out so gently and so peaceful. And you simply begin to listen to my voice. My voice will take you deeper and deeper into the state of relaxation, into the state of allowing, into the state of healing, into the state of complete letting go. Next inhalation, you begin to imagine there is a golden energy surrounds your aura. It's a beautiful protection field that you choose to put on at will and by intention. So you remain in your sovereignty throughout this process. And even though we experience this as a group, unified intention, you remain sovereign energetically. And now I invite divine beings to join us. We begin by invoking the great archangels to join us. The great archangel Raphael, who brings the emerald healing light. Archangel of healing, archangel of divine love. Archangel Gabriel, the great messenger, archangel of truth, is joining us next. Archangel Michael, with his sword of truth, protection. Archangel Uriel, the beautiful frequency of emotional healing and love, is joining us. And we also welcome Archangel Metatron, great teacher of manifestation and self-mastery. So you begin to see 5 archangels surrounding you. I sometimes see them on golden pillars of fire surrounding me and beginning to pour their frequency of light, wisdom, and illumination through my crown chakra. Take a moment to simply receive them. You may experience increased vibrations around your body as I feel increased tingling in my fingertips, pretty much my entire body vibrating higher and higher in the presence of these divine beings. On next inhale, imagine, simply imagine the Metatron cube, that sacred geometry that I showed you, is descending from the ethers as a crystalline structure. It descends softly like a snowflake, gently purifying and healing your subtle bodies. If it feels good, you can exhale out loud. Just really savor this experience of vibrating and being illuminated through this sacred geometry. You are the sacred geometry at your essence. You are the sacred geometry of the divine. You are the mandala. You are the code. And all the external tools that we use, they're just temporarily attempts to remember who you truly are. Begin to expand the Merkaba all around you. Imagine that you can stretch it to the point that it fills your entire room With every breath, this crystalline structure grows and expands. The next inhale, it reaches beyond your neighborhood. And you go beyond your town. Imagine that this crystalline structure made of the highest light, the more you allow it to expand, the more light you share with others. So take a moment to play with that image in your consciousness. Keep your attention on expanding your Metatron cube, your Merkaba, your light body. Simply imagining that you have that ability. And while you do that, I invite other wisdom keepers to join us. With great reverence, we invite Hathor, O great goddess of prosperity, fertility, divine mother. Thank you for your presence with us. We ask for your illumination. Help us see how truly prosperous we always are. Help us see the patterns of lack, the patterns of limitation, the patterns of fear that sneaked their way into our subconscious mind and have been running our subconscious mind. Help us see those patterns, so we let go of them at will. Thank you, Hathor. We also invite great goddess Isis, our powerful, powerful ally to have. Goddess of alchemy, the most powerful magician in the entire universe, great healer. Thank you, Isis, for being with us. Thank you for your unconditional love for every heart present here and the one that's going to listen to the replay. Help us remember how to love. Help us remember how to forgive the evil, how to forgive betrayal, how to forgive everything that is really, really hard to forgive. You are the one who conquered all through the power of your love. We ask your presence. Help us. Help us learn forgiveness. Thank you, Isis. And together with Isis arrives another great, great goddess and the most powerful diplomat in the whole universe, Kuan Yin. She is the goddess to call in for mercy, justice, and divine order. If anything in your life feels unjust, don't try to seek justice through your human effort. Surrender it at the feet of this goddess, Kuan Yin, the one that has known so much suffering, that every chant Every prayer in her name is immediately heard and answered. Thank you, Kuan Yin, for being with us now. Representatives of Divine Masculine is stepping forward. We welcome Thoth, the great king, Atlantean priest, a powerful God of wisdom, the one who brought to humans language, art, sciences, architecture, all the mysteries, the great immortal being, the builder of the Great Pyramid. He is the link to our great higher mind. Thank you, Thoth, for illuminating us into the sovereignty. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. We welcome Ganesh from the great Vedic tradition, the elephant god, remover of all obstacles, inner or outer, the great god of oneness, wisdom, unity, who reminds us there is no obstacle that we are not capable to overcome. If there is an obstacle that shows up in our life, it's precisely because we are ready to alchemize it and to move through it. And Osiris, the beloved of Isis, great, great king, representative of healed, awakened masculine. He's a powerful one to invoke when you go through death and rebirth cycles and you don't know if you have what it takes to be reborn. Osiris is the one that has shown us the path. Just like the sun sets every night and every morning it rises, so are we. We are children of the sun. So remember to breathe. Just take a moment to focus on your intention. What is the main belief that has been crippling you? That has been showing up again and again in your life? Call it forward. Bring it up. Simply by choosing to face it, to see it, to be with it. Remember the code of R in the middle of your chest? It's there. It's ready to receive this belief and to transmute it into love. I'm going to speak about the belief that I feel for this group as a collective belief. And it's all about carrying other people's burdens. Being overly responsible. So I feel called to zoom in on that one. If you have a different belief that you're working with, imagine that this container that we created, imagine that we are all standing in a circle. If you lost your presence, come back to the present moment. Be active in this process. So imagine we're all standing in the circle. And in the middle of the circle, there's a cauldron. There's a cauldron, and there is a fire burning in it. And each one of us will bring an offering to the cauldron of fire. And the reason why we're working with the imagery, because it's the fastest way to send instructions to your DNA through the image. The more real you make the image, fully being in it, the more effective it becomes. As you know, Olympic athletes know this well. When they practice their jump, they practice their win 1,000 times over. And before it happens in the actual reality, of physical reality, it already happened 1,000 times in their mind. So bring the same level of conviction to this process. If you're ready to release this belief, bring your conviction, bring your presence. Good work, everybody. Good work. I see all of you standing together, energetically sovereign in each one of your bubbles, but united through conviction of your hearts. Begin to bring the belief that was the most heavy for you. And just visualize yourself offering it to the fire. And when you're offering it to the fire, say thank you to the belief for helping you to survive until this point. Because it helped you to survive. Now it's become too small. So when you release something out of your life, I invite you to thank whatever served you and release it with gratitude. And then you will have a very clear release. Take a moment to do this process. If you have more than one belief, throw them all in the fire, one by one. And you can simply repeat after me in your mind or out loud the following command. Out of my sovereign free will, from this moment forward, I choose to release any old identity that has been vested into being overly responsible for everyone around me. I let go of any shadow patterns of rescuing others and robbing them from their victory by being a temporary hero and a long-term codependent. I am grateful to know the difference. I choose my sovereignty. From this moment forward, I only see sovereignty as a natural state in everyone I meet, even if they don't know that yet. I choose to let go of addiction to struggle. I choose to let go of anything in all my subtle bodies that is connected to limited collective beliefs. And I choose to remember my power, wisdom, and love. Take a deep breath in, darlings. Open your eyes just gently to see the code number 2. There's a lot of divine feminine in this code. The previous one was it feels very divine masculine to me. This is divine feminine. There's a lot of abundance frequencies in this code. Illumination, sovereignty, divine healing. So in the moment, I will ask you to close your eyes. For now, take this code in. Imagine you can breathe it with your heart. Imagine you are such a skillful, you can skillfully interact with geometry in that way. Breathe it with your heart. And close your eyes. And this is the time to focus on your intention. What is the domino effect intention? That if you call that by choosing it as a sovereign being, the spring will be so fertile for you. The spring will be rebirth for you. Yes, the winter was not easy. Yes, you did not expect to be challenged like that. Yes, you've been asked to grow at a very fast rate. The spring is here. Rebirth is here. What are you going to do with that energy? Breathe with your belly. May the intention come from the depth of your belly, from the seat of your soul. What are you calling forward? Remember, the Metatron cube is around you. Archangels are around you. Great wisdom keepers are around you. All of them are in awe of your heroic human journey. They know that this incarnation is super fast. It's only going to be a matter of time where you're going to be in a spirit world. So they are cheering you on. They say, what do you get to choose right now? While you're in the body, what do you choose? And your intention may continue to unfold beyond this container, and it's absolutely normal. You may have one intention, you may have 3. Whatever you have, I invite you to devote this intention for the benefit of all. In service to all beings. If you desire to manifest powerfully, I invite you to add that to all your intentions. May this come true for the benefit of all. May this be true for all beings. Whatever you ask for yourself, you ask for others. Wherever you ask for others, you ask for yourself, because there is only one of us. One consciousness expressing itself in many different forms. Remember that. So refocusing again with your invisible third eye, seeing this beautiful group, feeling the energy of collective right now. There's special chemistry that just formed with every single one of your auras, every single one of your purity of heart and open mind. Now imagine that instead of a cauldron of fire, there is a beautiful lake, and we are standing around the lake. And every single one of us holds a flower, and a flower symbolizes your intention. Look at your flower. Once again, don't get lazy here. Be really clear with devotion, with your imagery process. Admire your flower. What shape is it? What color it is? And imagine that you can put all your intention into this flower. And when you're ready, you surrender that intention into the void of possibilities, into this pure lake, pure consciousness. Take a moment to fully experience that. Now, almost our final step. We almost complete. My loves, thank you for your presence. You're doing so good. Imagine that you're looking at the palms of your hand. And you see there is a crystal. And you each gonna receive a crystal that is gonna be for you. I received rose quartz, the heart stone. So the crystal will symbolize our commitment to take courageous action and to meet the opportunities, the sacred signs, the omens that the spirit world will orchestrate to help you manifest your intention. So looking back at all the symbols that we went through, the flame in your heart, Metatron cube, the cauldron of fire, where you released limited collective beliefs or limited ancestral beliefs. The flower of your intention and the crystal of your commitment. I'm giving you these symbols because you will remember symbols. You will most likely forget everything else, or a lot of things, right? I forget a lot often, but I remember symbols. They go so deep. And every time you refocus, either on the flower or in the image of a crystal, you bring energy to this intention. Another way to say it, you choose it again. The challenge with inconsistent manifestations is that we change our minds so much, have difficulty to maintain a mental focus. So symbols help with that. Imagine that you can Put your hand on your heart. What are you grateful for right now? What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for my companion, Gracie. She's so peaceful whenever I do energy work. She's a good guardian. What else are you grateful for? Check your physiology. How good, how peaceful, how centered you feel. We're going to close down the container with a prayer. Great Spirit, Divine Mother, great Ascended Masters, Archangels, Angels, our galactic friends, Octarians, Pleiadians, Syrians. We are so grateful. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for every soul that came here today. Thank you for their devotion. Thank you for their presence. And every soul that's going to listen to the replay, I ask for a blessing, for a special blessing for every soul here. May their minds be illuminated with your light. May their bodies be strengthened with your strength. May their souls expand into their sovereignty. May they be a blessing to everybody they meet. May they grow in certainty and conviction that their lives matter, their message matters. They're so, so precious. Ask for a special blessing for every soul that is struggling right now, for every soul that is in pain, for every soul that's in confusion or lost. We pray for them. Pray with them. Because every challenge brings out the best out of us. And there is no grace without a challenge. The bigger the challenge, the bigger the grace that lays within it. In the name of divine love, I ask for integration of this clearing, healing, and activation for every subconscious mind present here. May tonight, when you sleep and dream, you feel rested and rejuvenated tomorrow, and you wake up with a new level of clarity, certainty, gratitude, devotion. And you will be ready to interact with your information field with a new level of joy and confidence and gratitude. And so be it. So it is. It is done. All right, beloveds, gently when you're ready, only when you're ready, no rush. Wiggle your toes, open your gorgeous eyes. Feel how good it is to feel alive. Oh. I really, really, really felt this group. Very strong container, guys. Very strong. I'll let you go in a few minutes. But alchemy Definitely. Yeah, you feel amazing, beautiful. There is a special alchemy here. And, you guys, a lot of you here are leaders who support others. A lot of you, I see who you are. And it's so good to receive support, and to receive support so you continue to be the pure vessel and the channel of grace. May you integrate fully. Yes, integration already begun. Know it, declare it, choose it. And darlings, the scale that I shared with you, every single level, this is the process, this is the process, this is the process, one of them. And I wanted to share with you guys just a link. This is integration mantra. I forgot that I have this one. Integration mantra. I integrate all these beneficial upgrades on all levels of my awareness in safety, harmony, and bliss. And I'm gonna look through all of your comments, you guys. So next step, for those of you who may be ready to go deeper into clearing work and energy mastery, I have 3 really quantum level programs that are available on demand, meaning you can go at your pace. And this is the link, and this is they are. I recommend to start with fundamentals, the frequency shift fundamentals. And it doesn't mean it's easy. It's easy, but it's really powerful because, you're going through clearing of your Akashic records. You meet Sekhmet, the lioness goddess, right? I teach a powerful process of how to transform any fear. So that's fundamentals. And the main program is frequency shift. A lot of you guys been through it. If you have access, go through it again, right? Again and again and again. And for those of you who are ready to go work with Ascended Masters, it's also available. It's a really potent transmission. And it's also self-study, so you can go at your pace. It's available to you. Yeah, I love to see all of these comments. So the link for that, you guys, so this is the graph, and both frequency shift and frequency shift fundamentals literally help you clear every single vibration that creates force and separation and gives you tools to do that. It's what liberates me. That's what I continue to share with others. And if some of you interested to explore what would it look like to work with me in a private capacity, I just opened up my calendar for individual quantum healing, energy healing work. So imagine what would be possible if you step in a container where you receive my undivided attention, and we can look into your past life regression, into your Akashic records, into any entities, attachments, anything that's happening that may be blocking you from full expression of your sovereignty. It's not on my site, it's not in my members area, so you can just reach out to me and I will guide you towards the next steps. And also, I'm opening my calendar for 2 private clients, not on the business level. On the business level, I have a different process, but this is for, let's see what else. Oh, here it is. I'll stop sharing. This is, you guys, when I was in Egypt. Oh, I see your questions. I love you guys. Yeah, it says frequency shift program has changed my life. Yes, I love to hear that. Yeah, you guys, what's the difference between both? Nicole, with the frequency shift, I went really, really advanced right away. And I felt I didn't cover fundamentals. So I felt inspired to create fundamentals program. And it's more, I would say, there is more how to. Frequency shift program, I do clearing after clearing after clearing. And the frequency shift fundamentals, I say, this is how you do it yourself. Because ultimately, you guys, I am not interested in people coming back to me for clearings. I'm like, this is how you do it yourself. So you know how to take your own energetic shower, right? I have the gift of clairvoyance and clairaudience. And so I can see the energetic patterns that people may not see, the blind spots. And this is why the individual healing sessions are really, really powerful. So you guys, when I was in Egypt, I really got this download to support a woman who is really having a challenge to go between two archetypes, between warrior woman towards the benevolent queen archetype. So, you know, if there's a challenge of integrating new feminine frequency, I can offer my support on that. So reach out to me and we can explore that. And I think that's it. Yeah, you guys. And then I'm teaching a new class. I'm going to announce it next week, a live training. I'm super, super excited about it. You guys know how special it is to go through a live training, right? It's very powerful. And I think it's because of the chemistry that is building up with everybody, you know, and then we share that vibration, we share collective mind, we go through the journey together. So it's called the Sovereign Mind, and I will announce it next week, I think. Yeah, next week. So I'll be honored to have you guys. And yeah, so, you know, just know that it's the process. And if I look back, I was like, what really liberated me is taking full responsibility for my sovereignty and starting clearing out that junk DNA, right? Junk DNA, 90% of the power that gets to be unlocked. And the more we clear it, you guys, the more we clear it, the more we liberate the space. And it happens in layers, you know? Like the reason I felt guided to bring being overly responsible pattern, because I recently just cracked it. I did not see it, you know, and I'm in leadership and in service. And I went to a spiritual healer and they say, Katerina, this pattern is running you, is being overly responsible for everybody and everything in your life. I was like, whoa, what a blind spot that I did not see. So you see, it's an ongoing process. But what occurs when you clear that, you liberate the space for the download of new vision, right? You have this prime real estate in your body, in your subtle bodies. And when you remove an attachment or negative entity or an old thought form, you create the space for divine truth, wisdom, power, love. Yeah, so it's a powerful one, you guys. So for those of you who would love to receive a private support in energy work and clearing those, especially the past lives, this is the past life memory came back to me. And this is not, you know, this is not unusual. When you stabilize a certain level of consciousness, you begin to naturally remember your past life abilities. And for me, the moment I start working consciously with Egyptian keepers of wisdom like Thoth, Isis, Hathor, Sekhmet, guys, it was like, Katerina, you're ready to remember some past life abilities. I was like, here I go. Strap the seatbelt. And it all just returned because I'm not afraid to call back specific past life abilities in service to the highest. So it's a very natural process. Those of you who may be like, I'm ready to call back some past life abilities that would be appropriate for my mission, I can support you on that as well. So darlings, another announcement, I am opening up, I've never announced this before, but a really powerful in-person immersion, all spiritual healing, activation of multidimensional abilities. And it's going to be in San Diego. And also I will post it probably next week. So I came back from Egypt, you guys, all these things just coming through me. I'm like, come on guys, download Waterfall. So she says, where can I find more information on Akashic records? Darling, there is plenty of information for sure. I recommend for you to actually go through frequency shift fundamentals. I do a massive Akashic record clearing there, massive one. Guys, you know what? I feel really good. This was not planned. I just listened to spirit. For those of you who are staying, like 10 people left, you guys are still here. I want to offer you, if you want to take frequency shift or frequency shift fundamentals, I'm going to create a special coupon. I can do that in my membership areas. And I'm going to give you guys 33% off. Why? Just because it feels good for me to do this right now. So take action, start clearing. He says frequency shift is life-changing. That's right. It's powerful, you guys. So it's already, it's so accessible. It's like $300, but you will receive another 33%. So if you took frequency shift, do the frequency shift fundamentals, because I introduce templates. Guys, when you start working with a template, whoa, you just go straight to your avatar consciousness, to your atmic body, to your buddhic body. And I feel really good to share this with you because I feel you can receive it. How long is the course? You know, darling, there's in the frequency shift fundamentals, there's 3 powerful sessions, only 3. They're a couple hours long. You know, you start taking my classes, they're usually about 2 hours long. We go deep, but then we go timeless, right? We go timeless. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create this coupon, and you guys, for those of you who want that, send me a private message and I will send you a coupon and you will do it. It's really, really powerful, you guys. It's powerful. I am so grateful. Michelle is here. Michelle says, I have taken every course and I highly recommend you. I am so honored. You know, you guys, for any teacher, the biggest compliment is when your students return. It always warms my heart and I never take it lightly. I desire to constantly up-level the service to you. Let's say, remind us the website. Here it is. Here it is, guys. Members, KaterinaSatori.com, and you will see the programs. But guys, don't buy it without the coupon. Let me create a coupon and it will take me 5 minutes. Send me a private message on Facebook and then you will save 33%. Because generosity is the most powerful frequency. I truly believe in that. And but this is the link, and I'll give you guys a little bit more support. I don't call it discount, I call it support. But this is the link, darlings. I love you. Here it is. Yeah, members, KaterinaSatori.com. Let's see. Members, KaterinaSatori.com. It's my beautiful members site, you guys. I've built. I'm having so much fun to create these courses, and they're really, really powerful. So thank you for the joy to be with you. I love you. I hope, I would say, I see you standing in your sovereignty, wings unfolded, beautiful crystal in your hand, flame in your heart, eyes clear. Now you're able to recognize the pattern that doesn't serve you and make a conscious choice. This is the power of clearing the eyes of perception. I love you so much, darlings. I will share with you the link, or just private message me. Just say, Katerina, I'm ready. And I'll give you the 33% off frequency shift or frequency shift fundamentals. All right. I love you so much. Bless you, darlings. Stop share. That's what I need to do.